Guys, what's happening? This is Mike at Mike's Total Dragon Channel. This is the last new comic book day of the year, and for some particular reason, Misty Cat wants to be in the video, so I'm not going to tell her no, but we are going to go ahead and take a look at everything that came in that I picked up this week. This week for me was very heavy Marvel, probably because I accidentally ended up getting my DC books last week. So I already got them and read them. So we have at the top of the key right here, starting off, Ultimates number 19 by Dennis Camp. This is starting to wind down. This version of the Ultimates universe has been heading towards this conclusion, and we are on the fast track right here with issue number 19, and also with Ultimate Endgame here. Now, question I have is, if all these issues, the Ultimate issues, are supposed to finish at after 2 years, which is 24 issues, the Ultimates is on number 19, which means there's 5 more issues to go. Ultimates Endgame, how many issues is this going to run? Is this going to run 6 issues total? Is Ultimates and Ultimate Endgame going to end at the same time? Also, what's the reading order here? Do they tie into each other? Does Ultimate Endgame and Ultimates, do they piggyback off each other? I have so many questions about that. I need to figure that out. But anyway, Ultimate Endgame here by Dennis Camp. This is the dramatic conclusion to the Ultimate Universe, as has always been planned out to be. The maker is coming back, and everyone is basically in scramble mode. They've had 2 years to get ready for it, and he's here now. Then we've got Predator Kills the Marvel Universe. This is issue number 5 of this miniseries. Benjamin Percy, all the Predator miniseries that he's wrote has led up to this right here. I really look forward to reading this. I've enjoyed all the other Predator miniseries that he's done. Then we have the Undead Iron Fist. This is issue number 4 of the 4-issue miniseries. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this ties up. What is Danny Rand's role in this? Who is the new zombie? Who is the zombie Deadpool? Who is the zombie Iron Fist? Who's the current Iron Fist? So hopefully everything is explained right here. Then we have one of my favorite books on the year, Escape, number 5. I highly recommend this book here. Rick Remenda and Daniel Acuna, I believe that's how it's pronounced. They work really well hand in hand. Rick Remenda knows when to lay off the dialogue and let Daniel Acuna cook, and they're just working really great together. And like I said, I highly recommend this book if you haven't checked it out by now. I'm sure they'll have a 5 or 6 issue trade paperback coming out to catch everyone up. Image is really good about doing that with their Volume 1 trades. Then we have X-Men Age of Revelation finale. It ends here. A lot of talk about this online, mainly about the quality of it. Did it need that many tie-ins? Why were the tie-ins only 3 issues longer? Did they need to cancel all the books for 3 months? You know, etc., etc. And I'm always reminded of one of the great quotes I have heard from, it is frequently used by ESPN, pardon the interruption, Tony Kornheiser. He quotes a famous TV executive, and he says, the answer to all of your questions is money. And for some strange reason, people tend to act like because comic books, which is a art, you know, the writing, the penciling, the inking, it's all a form of art, that art is somehow immune to the effects of wanting to turn a profit and make some cheddar. However, it is not. The people at Marvel, they like to tell great stories, and they like to tell great stories because great stories sell very well. So just because you're making something for the sake of money doesn't mean it necessarily has to be bad, because the better it is, the more of it will sell. But that's a whole separate type of conversation right there. But my thing is, Age of Revelation, it might not go down in the history as one of the best events or storylines or whatever in the mutant universe. But, it's not the first bad crossover we've had, and it's not going to be the last bad crossover that we have. They are by nature hit or miss. You can't be batting 1,000 on all of them. So I think the problem is right now, this X-Men Age of Revelation is existing, and it kind of very similar to how the Jeff Loeb, Jim Lee Batman is being talked about as a dud. The reason it's being talked about like that as a dud is because it's in the shadow of Absolute Batman right now, and that shadow is so huge. Everything right now is just magnified by its success. So if that wasn't out right now, Age of X-Men or X-Men Age of Revelation will probably be viewed in better light, but you just have to deal with what's going on right now. So then we have another red band issue of Marvel Zombies. We've got one more to go of this, and then we have got one more issue of red band Punisher to go. So this gives, oh, check this out. You can see the skull right there on his chest. That's a really cool cover. You see the eyes, and then there's the teeth right here, the blood streaming down, and the nose. That's fucking sick, actually. So I've got a very small week this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books to read. So not very much to read. So I ought to be able to get all this done by the time the ball drops tonight at midnight. So I can start 2026 fresh off, not have anything in my stack. Or at least not have any new stuff in my stack anyway. That's a pretty good goal to have. So hopefully you guys have a good New Year's Eve. Take care of yourself. If you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink. I know a lot of people like to go out for New Year's Eve. And God, please do not get on the road if you've been drinking. Do yourself a favor. Get an Uber. Get a taxi. Call somebody that's just chilling out of the house to come get you. Because somebody who has had a DUI before, it is not worth going down that path. Let me tell y'all, it is not worth going down that path. So till next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you next year. Bye-bye.